There are times I know it can be hard to get up and go. You can always count on those beside you. When you're far from home, it can be hard to go alone. Bring a friend. Oh, bring a friend. When you're on that road, you can share your heavy load. Every day can be a new adventure. When you're far from home, it can be scary to go alone. Bring a friend. Oh, bring a friend. Leave out to me question.
Welcome back, LU cuties. And I forgot to change the episode number. I'm going to do that really quick, because 84 was last week. This week is League of Ultimate Questing Battle Axis, episode 85, Loss. And yeah, if this is your first time here, we usually just kind of shoot the shit for the first few minutes, give everyone a chance to see the notifications and filter in. It's going to be a weird crowd today because this is not our usual time, but as always, stick around after. I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I'll disappear during the stream and then I'll be back. Unfortunately, I can't stick around too long today because right after this, I've got to go get my shit together and get out of here to go do a thing. But I hope everyone is having a great Monday. If I aired 86 today, people would be confused. But how's everyone doing? It's really good to see everyone. I'm really happy that a lot of you seem to be tuning in despite working or working out, as it were. Yeah, busy Monday. Me too. I was about to say it's chill, but like in the grand scheme of things, I consider most days chill because I set my own hours now, but I actually have a ton to do today, so. But it should be fun. God, my whole week is actually honestly blitzed because I've got our beer release party tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to I'm checking out like another group's kind of D&D pop up, and then just I have appointments and meetings all week. Yeah, if you didn't see it the last couple of episodes, well, I guess. Yeah, because I streamed the first and third episode this chapter. I did not stream the second one. But she's been up there this whole chapter. That is art by our own Bree Golden. And it's kind of a funny story because Bree didn't actually know that this chapter was coming up. She just decided to one day just draw an evil penny because she thought that would be fun. And this is what we got. And it's wonderful. And there's actually, there's a full artwork. I cropped it down to make it fit. If you like it, you should tell her, and maybe she'll post it in either Art and Media or Spoilers in the Discord channel. Yeah, and if any cuties are in Portland, today from 5 to 8 p.m. we're doing a beer release party over at Belmont Station for the TPK Triple IPA, which is a collaboration between TPK Brewing and Varietal Brewing, who are from Washington. But that is enough from me, because it's just about time. That's why I'm talking kind of slow. I'm waiting for it to and 3:05. So without further ado, I love you all. I will be here with all of you after this to hold your hand, even though I'm sure it's going to be a totally chill episode. And yeah, let's get to it.
Mr. Armistice?
Yes, Scott?
I wanted to say how sorry I am.
What did you do this time?
What? No, sir. About Ophidian. I know he was the centerpiece of a lot of your plans.
Oh, Scott. This is why you're a glorified secretary and not a member of the League. Or the Guild, for that matter.
I'm sorry, sir?
I have no further need of Ophidian Ashpool. He's done his duty. Now something better takes his place.
I don't understand, sir.
That is abundantly clear.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. If I wanted you to know the extent of my plans, I would have told them to you. Scott, if you were given a choice between two benefits, what would drive you to choose the lesser?
I don't know, sir.
Scott, Ophidian Ashpool was never my first choice. He was never anyone's first choice. And neither was I, to be honest.
Well, you're my...
So help me, if the next words out of your mouth are some sycophantic appeal to my ego, I will stomp your throat until your head drops off like fruit from the vine. Very good. Believe me when I tell you, Scott. Second best can be every bit as good as the first, when put to proper use. Even the worst has his place, sometimes front and center. But why settle when you can have it all?
You mean Halifon?
Still not thinking of the bigger picture. But yes, whether he knows it or not, Halifon Orison is mine. Well, the junior, at least. But even he is just one more step to what I really want.
And what's that, sir?
The same thing everyone wants, Scott. The same thing everyone wants.
As the bone halberd drives home in Ophidian Ashpool's heart, you feel the essence of him spill into you. The souls of 3 Aasimar come together. You gain the necrotic shroud ability, but more importantly, when any of your Aasimar abilities are active, all of them can be active at once. Additionally, when in this form, your true Aasimar form, you gain an additional constitution, strength, and wisdom. Ophidian's body falls limp. There is no blood, and you are healed.
Did we win?
Halifon, what are you doing?
Solving a problem.
Usha will walk up toward Hal, go to put a hand on his shoulder. You did it before I could. Bastard had it coming. Hard decision, but...
He had surrendered!
I didn't feel like a surrender to me, Iavos.
It's fine. We can just have the League revive him.
He was keeping us from what we needed. He was keeping us from Penn.
I'm right here, Woos.
Wusha, turning his back to Hal, will look at Penny very sad and say, I know, little one. I know.
You should be very careful what you wish for.
At that, rubble falls from the tower, as Pentecost, or something close to her, steps down.
The figure steps out of darkness and into the light. At first glance, she appears to be your friend, but her Eudaemon armor is tarnished. Her face and body are smeared with soot, and her eyes glow the same sickly yellow-green that burned into your memory after a chance meeting in a dungeon. I apologize for not coming out to meet you. I find that in my old age, her lip curls as she gazes upon Calliope. I have no more patience for small and undeserving gods. As she finishes her sentence, she grabs onto her golden arm and tears it from its socket to a cacophony of rending flesh and dislocating bone. With a disappointed sigh, her eyes once again meet yours as her flesh slowly stitches itself back together. She discards the arm at her feet.
Pen? Is that you?
It seems I really am becoming dangerously close to singular if my family thinks I'm so easily replaced. But rest assured, Busha, I'm the only real Penny left. I don't like this anymore. What's going on?
We're not sure either, Penny. Just stay close and safe. And if danger looms its head, run.
Hal turns to look at Penny. I told you it might be uncomfortable, but it's okay. Join us, Penny. It's where you're supposed to be.
I step between his gaze and her. Halifon, how dare you speak to her? After this?
After what, Iavos?
I point to the dead body at your feet.
He tried to kill her. He tried to stop us getting here.
Many people have stood in our way of many things, but slaughtering them after they surrender is not the Halifon Orison that I met.
Had he dropped his weapons? Had he stopped attacking me? He hadn't surrendered. Just wasn't his turn.
Then what's this join us?
Hal hangs his head at that. It's the only way, Iavos. There's not another option. You can ask Opus about it if you want.
Every time someone says it's the only way, it just hurts all of us.
Are you doing this at your mother's command?
Hal winces.
Is this for the benefit of war?
No. It's
to end war, Gaspar.
It's complicated, Gaspar.
You all know I'm smarter than I look, right? Explain it to me.
I told you Mum needed me on her plane because our side was losing. No one ever loses. No one ever wins. It's always fought to stalemate. We were losing. She had an option, and it wasn't the most comfortable one. And I look across over at Pentecost. She had a way to balance the scales, and balancing the scales is what protects everything. If the war ends on Mum's plane, it spills over everywhere else. I made a deal.
Oh, so it's not complicated at all. It's just business. God's trying to keep what they have, trying not to fall. Typical.
More cosmic predictions telling us what's going to happen before it does. Bowing down to your mother's will, and I point to Calliope, in exchange for another mother?
I assure you, Iavos, she put herself there. And Gaspar, weren't you the one that wanted your Penny to become herself, to do what she wanted? Well, if she goes down that road, she becomes me.
The Penny I knew, had she not been wounded, would have beaten you an infinite amount of times.
Please don't get me involved in this, Gaspar. I really don't think I can beat her.
Okay, not you, child. Trust me. You grow up.
I didn't come here to get embroiled in your back and forth bullshit. I came here for one job and one job only. I am here to get Penn back.
And you're doing so well, Wusha. I'm incredibly proud of you.
Then put your money where your mouth is. Set down your weapons and come with us. We don't need no bloodshed.
If you want me to put down my weapons, you needed only ask. She draws Zillos, discarding it with the golden arm.
Wusha is going to look back over toward where Iavos is standing and his best approximation of where Gaspar is and arch a suspicious eyebrow. He is showing a uncharacteristic amount of hesitation.
Look, you're smart. I know you are. Think. There are questions you should be asking.
The Blackwood is spreading. And that's your doing, isn't it? Its strength is a reflection of you.
Iavos, you give me too much credit. The Darkwood was here long before me, and it will be here long after. After all of us, in fact. But here? Yes. I am its source.
Why you keeping Calliope hung up there like some sort of weather-beaten figurehead?
Like I said before, Wusha, I didn't do that. She did that to herself by breaking an oath that she made so long ago. That is the price that she's paid, that she chose. At first, Eudaimonia was ambition and strength, with Arsenikos as its god. Then the Darkwood came. Some claim it was simply an enemy for the Eudaimon to fight. But Calliope saw a world overtaken by the Darkwood. So she struck a bargain. She would seal away Arsenikos, for a god cannot be killed. And in exchange, her people would live in bliss and freedom. I am the heart of the wood, the daughter of Calliope and her brother. Me and her both. She gestures towards the new Penny.
Then why were Darkwood assassins sent to kill Penny? To kill you? If you had died to that dagger, you would be gone as well.
But I knew that wouldn't happen when I sent those assassins. Injuring Penny forced her to reincorporate. I regained my plurality, and I broke free of my prison. She gestures behind her to the tower.
Mistress, Madam Dreadful.
Ooh, Penny Dreadful. I rather like that.
I have a question.
Of course.
What was Ophidian's role in all of this? He attacked you in the market. Was that a job you gave him?
Once again, you misunderstand things. He did have a job to do, but unfortunately, his free will often got in the way. And he was punished for it.
Oi, did you tell him to call me a pirate?
I think there's more important questions to be had, Wusha. But this, like gesturing to the scene, this is how it happens then. This is how you tear the fallow crown in half. Working as a team, a unified front, why don't you just cast down that sword and spit that oath out of your mouth, Halifon?
Hal looks at Iavos, looks at the chivalric edge, places it in Ophidian's hand of his body, and casts gentle repose on it, and picks him up.
We are not evil. We just want to end war.
I know it upset you, finishing Ophidian off. And I walk over and I hand the body to Wusha. You can take him back if you want him. We can take him back.
Wusha's gonna drop Ashwell's body.
Thump.
This flotsam ain't what we're scouting for. You don't have to do this, Al. We've been through thick and thin together, shoulder to shoulder. Ain't no reason to change that now. Don't shatter a crew.
When You tell Hal that he doesn't have to do that. He refuses to meet your gaze. I don't have any choice, Wusha. I made a deal. I did it for everyone. Now I have to live with it.
You're wrong. You didn't do it for me. Wusha, with his free hands, is going to grip toward his spears and just keep a gaze on Hal.
So what, we join you and stay here and watch Evdaimonia get consumed by darkness? We all rush back to watch the last of Kinuit turn to ash? What's your endgame besides ending a war? Spreading death is a different kind of weapon. Why does it matter where it comes from?
You still don't understand. Nothing dies here. I thought at least 2 of you would understand.
Oh, I see. You're right. Nothing does die here. So all we have to do is put you back in your cage, and we get Penny back.
Is that really your ultimate goal, Gaspar? I can help you. If you want to talk about putting gods in cages, you could say I'm an expert. That's something that Penny can't offer you.
If he didn't have collateral against me, I would be very tempted. But I want back what is mine.
And you as well, Iavos? Do you want your Penny back? I can give her to you. You have a vessel. I have her memories. I was with her from the moment she stepped onto Zenith. That's more than I can say about that stupid sword. I can make her back into the Penny you lost. Exactly. Consider it a gift. And she can curl up at the foot of your bed just like you've wanted.
Yavos, remember the rules. Don't listen to their trickery.
I understand more than you know. There's been several encounters now with the Blackwood, and it is clear that if it consumes this place, it could keep spreading. We've seen it in Zenith, and I've seen it in my dreams. This seems too cruel. Looking to Calliope, looking to the decayed forest, and then poor, memoryless Penny. I don't want a recreation of what was. I want us to be one again. Not necessarily as we were, but unified. We had goals. We made promises to each other. And every time the scales of some cosmic war get tilted, and some new dark force gets allied to that cause, when does it stop? Why are we the arbiters of that choice? I just want to help the people here. I don't care if you don't think they die. I point to Ashpool. I know what it looks like when a soul gets destroyed. That is not a body that we can bring back.
You really should have taken me up on my offer to tell you your ending, Iavos. But you will get there eventually, one way or another. Her eyes flash as she begins to incant a spell. It seems you've met every member of my family except for one. I think it's time for all of you to meet my father.
Roll for initiative.
It would seem Penny Dreadful has guided the fallow crowd since their inception. From the shadows she has led them to this moment. Should the fallow crown fall, Eudaimonia will be lost to the Darkwood.
I don't even know what it is. Why is it doing this?
From what I've gathered, both on Scry and through my own research, the Darkwood is an emergent, syncretic, and adaptive force, not unlike the Shadowfell and Fae.
Sorry, Russ. You lost me at emergent. And by the time you got to syncretic, I had already eaten the map.
Sorry, Dirk. This is gonna be a tough one to simplify.
I'll do what I can.
The Shadowfell and Feywild are two forces in opposition. Both of them are mirrors of the material plane that are suffused with magic. In modern theory, they act as filters for corruptive forces of Ethereum and Astral. In essence, they're what prevents the material plane from falling into a plane of magical chaos.
Planar suspenders. I'm with you so far. Kind of.
However, the Darkwood seems to be a combination of both Fey and Shadow, and something wholly other. It is the force that displaced the Fey of Kinuit. It is the murk which so recently consumed the Fey reef of Yoda B12 and all of its inhabitants. Every member of the Broken Court lost their homes to it. And yet, for all this destruction, we know so little. What's worse, according to LUQ research teams, it's a naturally occurring phenomenon. It is native to the planes it inhabits. We would take action, but the Silver Citadel, the Quorum of the Greater Real, the Half-God and his Pantheon of the Ascended, even the God Hunter Battalion, nearly all of the self-appointed governing bodies of the cosmos strictly forbid it. Outside interference in the natural course of a plane's development or destruction is the ultimate crime. We can't prevent apocalypses that don't belong to us.
So, the crown?
Could be in violation of these laws, yes. However, the Fallow Crown's relationship with Penny Farthing and the actions the Darkwood has taken against them must surely grant them rights to vengeance. Time will tell.
What do we do?
We hope, Dirk. We can only hope.
We're about to witness a planar phenomenon, a keyhole between worlds that only marketing can penetrate. Join me as we glimpse into the Adverse.
Another day running the Trolls Road to deliver precious cargo. Icy roads, cold wind, dangers all around. But you're Dornish born, raised in the mountains and tough as tempered steel. You need a wagon that's tough as you are. Introducing the new Lachey Lancer. Molten forged iron hubs, triple reinforced Eldwood, massive cargo bed, and heavy Dornish leather tack. Road is long, but you ain't scared. You're Dornish tough. You choose Lachey.
Hail, you cuties! I like to mid-roll. Thank you one and all for all of your support, and just for being fans of the show. We love knowing how many people are excited to tune in and hear what happens next, and this chapter is definitely no exception. Us at Slapdash, we can't stop thinking about growing. We just want to keep spreading our story to more and more listeners and be able to work on new projects in the future. But it's pretty difficult. You may be hearing some ad shares in the near future as we cross-promote with other shows, and likely see more social media activity as we spread our internet wings. But so much of growth comes down to the fans. Not to put that weight on your shoulders, but if there's any chance you haven't told your friends about the show, interacted with us on social media, or even just tagged us in a post, we'd really be truly grateful. Obviously, the most direct way to support the show is with the Patreon, which is loaded with rewards. A bunch of those rewards can be found on the Discord with the best community around. We really do love them. And check out what you can get at the top tiers. Our current legendary mid-roll teams are the Titans Rise, the Twilight Concord, and this week's featured team, the Ceaseless Horde, with Dave Mlodinoff, Daniel Pickens-Jones, Patch Perryman, and Jeff Ammons. To get a personal message read on the show or for possible advertising opportunities, reach out to admin@slapdashstudios.com. Follow us at twitch.tv/slapdash streams for Monday Night Live premieres and more gaming throughout the week. Our temporary mailing address is 2511 Southeast Pine Street, Portland, Oregon 97214 if you have anything you're dying to get the cast. Keep your eye out for more Goblin Up events in the Portland area, and don't forget me and Zach have tabs on the LUQ.com where you can hire us to DM private games. And while you're there, check out the information on the cast and crew. We love you very much, but that's enough out of me. Let's get you back to the battle axis.
My High Warlord Vanrath, the destroyer of the Eastern Border, master of the Red Spear clan, usurper of the Twilight Crown, and liberator of the enslaved Oakwell Ravagers. The time has come. For your breakfast, what do you desire, my lord? I don't know. Do you crave a slab of flame-kissed pork flank? No. Milk of the spear maidens mixed with mare's blood? No. Wyvern's eggs with blue cheese? No, I don't want it. How about some toast and jam? Toast and jam? I am Vanrath the Destroyer, and you offer me toast and jam? Not just any jam, my lord. The finest mountain berries smashed to submission and jarred by an ancient clan of fruitsmith warriors. Here, just try it. This jam is good. It's so fruity and tart. Who is responsible for this concoction? It is the jam of the brave, the preserve of the tenacious. It is not for the weak of will. It is none other than the Jarbariums. Jarbariums has pleased me. This calls for a breakfast orgy. Huzzah for Vanrath! Huzzah! Jarbariums, breakfast is toast.
Penny's papa sings a song. She knows it in her heart. It tells her that he loves her still when they are far apart. And even though his tongue has long since rotted from his throat, in her mind she can still hear his final haunted notes. Penny Dreadful casts Summon Aberration as black tar bubbles up from the forest floor, filled with bones, skulls. It forms together into a giant creature, staring at Iavos.
I snap Opus off of my belt. Counterspell.
I'm casting it at 5th level.
Ah, very good. So I got a roll to make. That's a 25. That should be just fine to counter your summon spell.
Counterspell? Are you serious? I know your tricks, Iavos. They call me Penny Piper, spitting venom like a viper, catching spells in the air like they're flies to a spider. Do you get it now? My lips are too quick and my tongue is too clever. Hey, why are you here? I thought you went home forever. I use my reaction to counter his counterspell.
No! My juice!
Why is that always the meanest thing?
That was a sick run.
Oh, we're
God
playing
damn.
Magic the Gathering now.
The Wizard Wars are upon us.
My first ever real counter spell right in the toilet. Fair enough.
I'd like everybody to roll for initiative.
Top of the initiative, we're all out of reactions.
And in true plural fashion, Dana will be playing both pennies. The initiative begins at 20. Suddenly you all feel as though you're being watched, as though you're being smelled, tasted. Something lives here. Busha.
Wusha is less concerned about what might be closing in from the hedges around him, jumping back and forth through the forest, because he's got his eyes on his target. We got a way to deal with traitors where I'm from. He's going to jump on you, Hal. Both spears clutched in his hands, diving down at you. He's also going to cast Hunter's Mark on you.
Okay. Are spears reach weapons?
No. But I can step forward 1 square if need be.
You can. When Wuxia tries to move inside my threatened area, I will use my polearm master feat to attack of opportunity with my glaive.
Sounds great.
And my reaction. That is a 25 to hit Wuxia.
Yep, that's a hit.
I'll do it.
That's a hit.
That is only 6 points
Wusha, I'll take it.
of slashing damage, but it reduces your speed to 0 for the rest of your turn.
Rude.
Churlish.
Rude.
And Hal will say, stay back, Whoosh.
From that strike, Wusha also loses concentration on Hunter's Mark.
Oh, jeez. Really?
You fucker. Yeah, I rolled a 1 for my Constitution
that's too
save
bad.
there.
Oh, no.
That couldn't have been much worse. Okay, so I am not adjacent to you, correct? Because you reduced my speed to 0.
Yeah, I guess if you can't move up.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm adjacent to Penny Papa, to Oily Penny Dad. So my option is to throw my spears with disadvantage.
I just love the idea of throwing your spears at somebody who is 5 feet away from you.
They don't expect it. You can hit.
Didn't see it coming.
Just over the top of Ashpool's body.
Fuck. Hey, I know you mentioned your AC was garbage.
It's not super high.
Does a 9 hit?
No.
Well, shit.
Shame.
Yanking it back on my spectral chains. I'm going to go again. Also not very good. Does a 12 hit?
12 also misses.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Wushaw's on the back foot all of a sudden.
All right.
Distracted by all the chaos around him, both spear shots fly way wider than they should be.
Hal casually deflects one with the butt end of his pole arm. And as Wusha pulls it back, he says, "It's okay, Wusha. I don't want to hurt you either."
Ooh. That makes it Gaspar's turn.
There's a bit of rustling in the naked branches of the dark wood as Gaspar starts climbing up, using what cover is available there, going in between 8 and 15 feet. It's PvP, so I can't give you my exact location. unless I fail this hide check.
Fuck!
Sorry. Team Goodfellow Crown rolls a natural 1.
Oh!
Do you have reliable talent?
Not yet.
Not yet?
All right.
Yikes. Normally I'd want to punish a natural 1 on a climb.
No, break that
but-
branch, my dude. Come on. It's the dark wood, like, on their side.
Slip on the branch and get the boing loings.
It's meant to be.
As you place your hand on a nearby branch to kind of give yourself a little bit of leverage and peek, it just shatters in your hand, creating a loud, audible snap and leaving an open gap right where you're standing.
After a defeated sigh, Gaspar is going to launch a quarrel at Penny's father. That is a 29 to hit
That's a hit.
for 34 points of magical piercing damage through the... Are there bones in this thing, or is it straight tar?
Both.
Okay.
It is a tar structure filled with bones.
One
it's
of them.
used their bones to build a frame.
Oh, yeah, fuck. That's my turn.
And that makes it Penny's turn.
What should I do? I've never done this before.
Wusha is going to say, "Help!"
Okay. A night of secrets hidden deep. His tales of woe no one may keep. Gaspar, go ahead and take a bardic inspiration. It's a D8.
Thank you.
And I'm going to attempt to cast Fairy Fire on Halifon. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
All right.
It's going to be a dex save.
It will be.
DC 16.
I will attempt it. That is 11 plus 1 for a total of 12. I assume Bless has worn off by this point.
If the sword's gone, the bless is gone.
Yeah. I'm going to use my D8 Bardic Inspiration point, which lasts for 10 minutes on this roll.
Ooh. I love that.
I rolled a 2. A total of 14.
And Halifon erupts in golden fairy fire, a color that all of you remember, save Wusha, from the Forge Challenge.
Wusha is going to wipe some errant blood from his face and said, "Nice yellow. You scared?"
And that makes it Dreadful's turn.
From far behind Halifon, Penny Dreadful begins lobbing eldritch blasts towards Wusha, black in color. The first one is a 24.
That's a hit.
The second one is a 17.
That's a hit.
Oh no, my Wusha. My favorite Wusha.
That is 20 force damage total. And then Penny Dreadful is going to spend some meta magic points to cast Quickened Synaptic Static. How high are you off the ground, Gaspar?
I had selected 9 feet.
Okay. It's going to hit Gaspar, New Penny, and Iavos. Each of those 3 characters must make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, yes. The rogue benefits.
Have fun living.
Feel your thoughts as they thicken to sludge. Why don't you relax and take a short rest? It's so hard to think when your mind just won't budge. Better to stop and abandon your quest.
God damn.
21 for Avos.
16 for Gaspar.
9.
You weren't hit, Wusha.
Ha ha!
His
Oh,
intelligence save that he
oh!
failed
Sorry.
was to recognize he wasn't a target of the spell.
There you go.
It's getting real hard to think all of a sudden. Oh!
I can feel it.
Iavos was the only one who passed.
Oh, snap.
Iavos, you take 15 psychic damage.
But do I? Okay.
Gaspar and Penny, you take 31 psychic damage. And your thoughts are muddled for 1 minute. During that time, roll a d6 and subtract the number from all attack rolls and ability checks. You can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each turn to shake this effect. Penny screams and clutches her head. And then Penny Papa tries to attack Wuxia. Bony appendages cut through your flesh. 24 and 14 for to hit rolls.
14's a miss.
Hey.
It does 13 points of slashing damage. And until its next turn, you can't regain hit points.
Ow.
Well, there goes healing Wuxia.
Ooh.
As the bones pierce through Wuxia, he'll wince, his flesh parting. Wait your fucking turn!
And that makes it Halifon's turn.
Hal looks over his shoulder at Penny Dreadful, as if awaiting a command.
She meets your gaze. You don't have to take commands anymore, Halifon. No more fighting so hard for so long for other people's approval that you will never win. Do whatever you want. You are a king of the Darkwood this day. But if I'm being honest, I want to see exactly what you're capable of. Don't hold back anymore, Hal.
An expression of agony crosses Hal's face at this instruction. He looks at Wuxia.
Counterpoint, do.
I'm sorry, Whoosh. I did make promises to you, but they're not binding like the ones I made to her. Hal will spend 2 points of glory to take an extra non-attack action and activate his Aasimar Radiant Aspect ability. In this form, this activates Radiant Consumption, Radiant Soul, and Necrotic Shroud. You're used to seeing Radiant Soul and Radiant Consumption. Hal's tattoos light up. His wings of fire erupt. As the Necrotic Shroud falls over him, the brilliant white-hot glow of his tattoos fades to a dull cherry red. His burning wings become engulfed in thick, oily smoke, and his whole form is shrouded in a black fog. Only the red of his eyes burning out from inside of it.
Don't like that. No, 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 no.
He stabs Wuxia with his first attack. First strike, which is reckless. I'm fairy fired. There's no reason not to. 25 to hit again.
Yeah, that hits.
Sorry, Whoosh.
No.
Wuxia.
Yes.
Fortunately for you, I forgot to say I used my bonus action to rage, so I won't count that damage. You will take 9 points of slashing damage plus 18 points of radiant damage and 9 points of necrotic damage for a total of 36.
I'm going to activate my Stone's Endurance and try to reduce that damage.
All right.
With my reaction. Roll big, baby. I take 10 less damage.
Nice.
That's pretty fucking good.
It's something.
Not the situation,
Nope.
but the mechanics at play.
As you tap into the resonant glory of those watching, you do not feel the love of the fans as you've known it. Instead, you feel something different. A kind of vitriolic hatred. There are people there who believe what you've said, who believe what she's said, and you can feel them. They believe in you, even if you would not want to meet them. For a moment, you almost feel like you can hear Ophidion's voice. You don't have to like them, and they don't have to like you.
When the halberd catches Wusha, he's going to lean in toward it, trying to focus his lithoderms, his lumps under his skin, to crawl toward the point of impact. It does little to not completely fucking shatter his ribs and make him cough up equal parts blood and seawater, but he'll grit his teeth and say,
I caught cannonballs bigger than that, traitor. What else do you have?
My second attack. And I bring it around.
Oh, beans.
Leave the big boy alone.
oh, navy beans.
Fuck.
Between attacks, I will use my bonus action to start a rage.
That's a good thing to rage at.
22 to hit.
Penny, interrupt what you can.
How?
Change the story.
A torn tendon, broken wrist, make Hal fucking miss? She uses cutting words.
All right. Roll a d8. I had a 22.
My life is in your hands.
3.
Ooh.
19 still hit you?
You dropped my life. Yeah, 19 hits.
Okay. Wusha takes. I rolled a 9. So 9, 13, 15 points of slashing damage.
What, I'm not worth a fucking smite?
I couldn't do it. I wasn't ready for this. Don't they have low-level quests to start you on?
For managing the injuries, I have gotten a anatomy die. Would you like to roll it to see where you hit Wusha?
Sure.
It is my left hand.
Like a scene from a George Lucas movie.
Oh, no.
Hal brings the glaive down and cleaves Wusha's left arm off at the elbow.
Wusha slumps down to the ground, dropping to his knees, his hand fumbling to try to cover the wound, as all of the liquid in him starts to gush out of the opening on his left side.
You really did it? You really think this is worth bringing down the whole ship?
Hal steps over Wusha's body as he collapses. As he passes him, he says, I'm sinking the ship to save the whole ocean, Whoosh.
I hope you're right.
Me too.
Off of his knees, Wusha slumps forward and lands face down into the swamp.
At the end of Hal's turn, he stops next to Whoosh, looks at Iavos, the smoke still billowing around him. You're just outside of range of Necrotic Shroud, so you don't need to make a save versus Frightened. But both Wusha and Papa Penny take 4 points of radiant damage from my aura.
Wusha, that's going to mean a failed death save.
Yes, it is.
And Dana, go ahead and mark down 4 radiant damage against the aberrant.
Does it seem to respond to the radiant damage?
Not in any meaningful way.
And that brings us to Yavos.
Wusha! There's something wrong with these wounds. I can't heal them, Gaspar! Pentecost, I'm glad you've learned free will, but I hope you're ready to comprehend consequences. I'm going to put my fingers to the forehead of this abomination and release a 4th level lightning bolt through it and into Pentecost.
Ooh.
I want it, Daddy.
It's a straight line.
Yup. So you both need to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Papa rolled a 3, and Penny Dreadful got a 19.
Oh, no. Well, that does make it. So, Papa takes 38 lightning damage, and Penny takes 19, or Penny Dreadful, as it were.
There's an explosion of tar and bone. Countless skulls litter the ground in pieces, and Papa is no more.
Good God.
Yes.
So Iavos, with an uncharacteristic courage, charges forward through the exploding aberration that he splits in twain, dangerously close to Halifon.
Halifon, would you like to do an attack of opportunity?
Would I like to? No? As Iavos enters, you see Hal raging in the zone, flinches as though he's going to stab, and grimaces and diverts the attack, stabbing the ground next to you. No.
Calculating that very briefly, but ignoring it for the trouble at hand. Iavos reaches his hand out to the forest behind him. If it's war you want, then it's war you get. And the plowshare comes flying out of the weeds
slamming into Penny Dreadful as I cast a 3rd level spiritual weapon.
Very nice.
I hope I can hit your armor class. 22.
Whoa!
That is a hit.
Yummy, yummy. That is 15 force damage from the spiritual weapon.
Oh, Iavos. Coming after me instead of healing Gaspar? They really have turned you into a killer.
I look back over my shoulder at young, innocent, fabricated Penny and say,
I have faith. Now face me.
And that makes it the top of the initiative. You hear a groan, heavy, ominous, emanating from the heart tree, as something stirs inside of it. And that makes it Wusha's turn. Please roll me a death save.
Baby, you know it. It's a 14.
You succeed your death save. And that makes it Gaspar's turn.
Diving from the tree and landing deftly onto the soft ground right in front of shiny new Penny, Gaspar spits out a command. Try and get Wusha back up if you can, or at least stop Hal from making the finishing blow. Seeing the hesitation that Hal has at the moment, not striking Iavos as he passed by, Gaspar is going to test that as well and run on the road, not wanting to be harried by the deep swamp. Hal still has the option of making an attack of opportunity.
As Gaspar runs past, Hal squeezes his eyes closed, grips his halberd, and swings it into a nearby tree, a smaller one, which is cleaved in half from the force of the blow.
Why are you letting them through?
I did what you told me to do. I took out Wusha. You told me I could make my own choice. I don't want to hurt my teammates.
I'm then going to use my cunning action to dash to get right next to Penny Dreadful.
Ooh. Jesus Christ. I just like the idea of you shooting like a bullet from the hedge right up to her goddamn face.
And, in fact, go all the way behind her, flanking her with the plowshare, and stabbing not for any vital organs, but for where it is going to cause a large amount of pain. And so Gaspar, with a few flourishes, slashes towards Penny Dreadful's last spellcasting hand.
Nice.
In an attempt to hurt and maim, not kill. I'm guessing plowshare doesn't give me advantage.
No.
Not mechanically.
Yeah. I get a minus D6 for snap dexterity. Wow, that's a minus 6.
Oh, God.
So that's 24 to 18. I don't know what her AC is. I will not use the Bardic Inspiration. So that is an 18 to hit after a minus 6 from Synaptic Static.
Hit.
Yeah.
That is 12 points of slashing damage.
Duly noted.
That is the end of my turn.
And that brings us to Penny.
Wait, I was going to heal you. And he's gone. Do they always do this?
Dana, does a 22 beat your saving throw for Synaptic Static?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
A page of wisdom, wise and true, draws his blade, his purpose few. Iavos, go ahead and take a D8 Bardic Inspiration.
Please and thank you.
And then she's going to start kind of cautiously moving towards the two members of her party that are still fighting, inching around Halifon, kind of giving him a worried look as she circles him. And she doesn't quite get close enough to heal Gaspar. So she's going to set a reaction to cast Cure Wounds if he gets within touch range.
I like it. And that brings us to Dreadful.
Fine. If you won't hurt them, don't worry. I will. She points a finger directly at Iavos. Says, remember this moment. It's a turning point in your story. Instead of casting at Iavos, she uses a verbal-only spell, Psychic Lance, using metamagic to twin it.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to use one on Gaspar and one on Wusha. Gaspar, I see you coming to come now. The dark wood is calling you, answer. and listen to its sweet refrain. Over by Wuxia, you hear something slightly different. Wuxia, Wuxia, what is it that moves your bones? Wuxia, Wuxia, where so many critters have made their homes. Wuxia, Wuxia, the spirit you cling to, let's make you forget. Wuxia, Wuxia, and cut the strings of the marionette.
I don't like Penny Dreadful. She's a sorcerer.
I love Penny Dreadful.
I'm fucked.
Both of you need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Eat 10, nerd.
Now I know why she didn't target me.
I did throw the Bardic Inspiration there because.
I would.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
So that is 19. God, I hope that's enough. Plus 4 and the inspiration.
18.
Oh! I was so afraid you were going to go 20. It could have been.
Could have been.
Oh, my.
That is going to be a failed death save for Wuxia.
Oh, yeah.
You take 24 psychic damage and you are incapacitated until the start of your next turn.
I can't get much more incapacitated than I already am.
Gaspar, you take 12 psychic damage.
Hal, from Wuxia, face down in the muck, you hear a defeated bloop.
So cute for the tragedy.
I use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself, but Penny Dreadful spreads her arms and looks pointedly at Iavos. Go ahead. If you let that one live, she'll just become me. I'm inevitable, and I'll see you again soon.
And that makes it Hal's turn.
Hal's going to look down at Whoosh. And with his wings, Hal flies up into the air over the top of Penny, out of her reach, and lands in front of Iavos between him and Penny Dreadful. His aura fades, and as the terrifying aspect goes away, he just looks sad. He takes something out of his pocket. He presses it into your hand. He reaches up to his chest and crushes something else in his hand. His fiery wings take on the aspect of blades which begin to close around him. And he says, I hope you believe me, but it really was the only way. And as the wings close, there's a flare of light, and Hal is gone, no longer on this plane of existence.
As Hal disappears, you look down at your hand and see a small scroll case with a lock on it. And that makes it Yavos' turn.
Gaspar, how much in the toilet are you?
20-something.
Is that what you have left?
23.
I think offense is the best defense right now in
Correct.
stopping Penny Dreadful from wrecking your shit?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she can't be that tough.
Right. With my bonus action, I continue the onslaught of the plowshare controlled through the spiritual hands of the warrior.
Awesome.
Please keep rolling good. I was almost a crit,
Oh.
but it is an 18, so that makes it a 25.
Nice.
It hit before. Is that it? I'm going to confirm with Dana that that's a hit on Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, and I choose not to use a reaction.
Well, la-di-da. 15 force damage.
Oh, that's a big plowshare.
Pentecost, I don't know if there's any of you left in there, but you can't forget what got you here.
And I'm going to use 2 points of glory to impose disadvantage on Pentecost as I point to the golden arm that she cast aside and cast catapult at 4th level, hurling it into her face.
Wang!
Wizard cast punch.
Oh, what do I have to roll?
Disadvantage dexterity.
Oh, fuck me. A 26.
Jesus Christ.
Guff.
All right.
MacGuffin.
That's a waste of glory right there. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens at all?
That's an all or nothing spell.
Fair enough. And that brings us back to the top of the initiative. In the bushes, something moves. Crawling, grabbing, reaching. The arm may have missed, but the thing driving it has a will of its own. It attempts to climb back up onto its host. I'd like you to roll me a opposed strength check.
All right. 2.
That does not beat its 16. You feel an incredible weight as a gold arm starts to climb up your leg. It has a firm grip on you and seems to be squeezing you hard enough to bruise, maybe even break a bone.
Ah, I said go away. Go off and die.
That makes it Wushaw's turn. Please roll me a death save.
Here we go, team.
Roll good and high.
And what if I didn't? What if I rolled bad and low?
Oh, no.
Well, you haven't been hit by the monster, so I could heal you next turn.
Nope. That's the third of 3.
No.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4. Damage from Hal, damage from Witchpenny, failed save.
As brackish water pours from the open wound, Wusha begins to unravel. Inside of him, crab and creature crawl and snap, chewing, biting. In moments, all that's left of him is sea foam collected on the top of the swamp water. I'm fucking sorry, bud.
Hey, them's the dice.
That makes it Gaspar's turn.
I am going to use glory for inspiration.
Okay.
I know, or Gaspar probably knows that he's got a fan club out there. There has to be at least one dedicated fan club, you know.
Yeah, they're called the Headhunters.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Who appreciate the movements he makes in combat.
They're just cake enthusiasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bakers, yeah.
The Baker's dozen. It's not a lot of them.
But as Penny Dreadful is wrestling with this golden arm, dodging away from the plowshare, making cleaving attacks, she knows that Gaspar is there. She tries to pay attention. But with a dramatic spin of his pelisse, she's blinded for a moment. And with the inspiration, he's going to make an attack with advantage at her back.
Okay.
That is a 24 to hit.
That's the total?
That is the total.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 39 slashing damage.
Jesus.
How do you want to do this?
With her flank exposed, Gaspar becomes her shadow, pulling at her mantle. A saber pierces through the air beside her right ear, comes back and threatens to slit her neck. But it is not the blade that is pulled back. It is your antlers, your head, towards his stump. As a plume of dark, light, stealing smoke in the shape of a head embraces and engulfs yours, enters into your nostrils, and pulls backwards towards the dark portal that Gaspar carries every day.
Blackness surrounds you. Nothing. Nothing as far as the eye can see. And then, the swamp. The dark wood. That is your domain. It is your home, and you carry it with you. Pentecost. True Pentecost. You see Gaspar, standing there in thick black water. But there is a third thing here, a quiet thing, a shadow hidden among shadows. And it whispers, "Good. Now, give her to me."
As you lay there, unable to move, Gaspar's voice echoes, "Penelope, get the fuck up and walk away from the darkness."
What?
Penelope, I don't have much of a choice. Fight it.
We made a deal. You made a deal.
I will perform my task. You just wait. I'm allowed to make a plea to my friend. Gaspar is going to walk right by your side. From a pocket, he's going to pull out a desiccated and mummified liver and crush it into dust. I'm allowed to ask one question from a soul trinket. And it is, would you bring me the knife? Nepet will appear by my side. Not the blade that had killed him, but the black knife that threatened your plurality, your existence.
What are you doing? We need her to be complete. Take her. Take the mantle. We can manage the Darkwood.
Penelope, do you remember I asked you how you wanted to die? If you wanted to see it coming or not. I'll make that choice for you. I will take my handkerchief of unquestionable origin and drape it over your eyes.
The shadow steps forward, and you see a face. So familiar. A face you've not seen since the last time you truly looked into a mirror. If you take her, and we can be whole again, and we can be so much more than one.
There is a slight pressure on your breastplate. Penelope, it was not supposed to be this easy. And so, with speed, precision, and conviction, Gaspar is going to drive the dagger through armor, flesh, bone, into the heart that has become the vessel for the Darkwood. He collapses at your side, dying.
No, we made a deal! We made a goddamn deal! I'm gonna be so much more! No more running in the alley like a rat! We will be plural! We will rule! We, us together! No! With that, the body of Penny Dreadful falls to the ground. But so too does that of Gaspar. The groaning persists as iron chains pull and break. A distant splash as Calliope crawls from the heart tree. Give her to me. Please. I can make her whole.
Iavos looks to the ground where Pentecost and Gaspar fall, unmoving, looking back to the sea foam where Wusha was and the smoldering circle where Hal's body vanished. I can help them. I can find the power. Please, don't take them all away from me. Where is it? Show it to me. His eyes roll into the back of his head. The darkness spreads down his face, and he falls over unconscious.
Please, Penny, bring her to me.
I don't understand. I'm Penny. Who is this? Mama.
I know, dear.
Mama, please.
Bring her to me,
I don't like this game anymore.
and I will make you whole.
Slowly, with small, tired arms, she collects her own corpse, carries it to her mother's feet. I never should have made that wish. I'm sorry.
Rest now, child, for in the winter, even the strongest crops must follow.
Nope, that is the end. Because right after that, we all sat there for a minute. Zach said, "What if that's it? what if we just cut right there? We all agreed, and then we all looked at each other, shook hands, and left the room. Like, because that, yeah, I'm so happy this finally aired. No, the story of the Fallow Crown does continue. We had to wait a month for it, so I'm honestly a little jealous that you only have to wait a week. But it will continue. And like I've said before, if this were, Legend of the Fallow Crown, the animated series, this episode would probably be the finale of season 2. But yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks for bringing that back up. Let me turn the EXPN music back on, just because silence, while dramatic, does bother me, and I want to get everyone to a good place before I let y'all go. But yeah. So we talked about this much less than you would think. Like Zach said, I actually until it happened in game, I had no idea what happened in Hal's story, or that he was going to turn, or that he was, the champion of the Darkwood. That was all a surprise to me. All Zach had told me was in terms of creating the Penny Dreadful character, because originally I just thought I was going to fight the Fallow Crown by myself, and I was like, okay, I'm probably going to need some legendary actions to balance that. And he says, oh, you'll have help. Don't worry. You have, a couple other characters that will be helping you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I did not know until the game that he was talking about Ophidian and Hal. And everyone else was kind of similar. Everyone had pieces of what was going on. Gaspar, like Angelo obviously knew Gaspar's backstory. He knew the whole thing with Crom in this episode, and I don't want to say too much because there's more stuff that hasn't been said about him. But like, I didn't know any of that, and yeah, just everybody had pieces going into this one that nobody else had, and that's actually one thing that I would like to call out is I like to call out good game mastering, and the lead up to this one on Zach's part was pretty masterful, because you'll notice that for all this setup, Zach didn't do a lot in this episode. And basically just he put us in a situation where all the pieces were there. We each knew our part of the story, but not anyone else's part. And just through role-playing what we knew, we were able to create this narrative that Zach had set up the dominoes for. And the fact that he didn't have to be really heavy-handed in this episode and just let us play in that sandbox, it's a testament to how skillfully that was done. And so yeah, as always, I can mostly speak to my part in this little play that we tell. Penny Dreadful is a legal player character, but she abuses certain rule interactions in ways that would be impolite to play in good company. But she's a high-level aberrant mind sorcerer hexblade. And yeah, if people are into it, I'm not opposed to. I don't have a nice character sheet right up on that character, but I'd be happy to make one, and potentially put it on the Patreon if y'all are into that, because she's interesting, and it's a really mean character build. It's probably not totally like optimized for her level, but it does a few tricky things, and I also made her kind of with the purpose of being able to fight a group a little bit, although yeah. And yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Yeah, that's true too. And then it's Zach has also been very good at making it a conversation, and so there are certain things. When Zach says he had plans from day one, he's not lying about that. That's absolutely right. But he also evolves them and incorporates other parts of the story that happened. Like, it has not been rigid; it's been very flexible. Just like Penny's whole backstory. I know Zach had his ideas about like the Darkwood and things like very early on, but then as I wrote Penny poems, he kind of bounced those and incorporated them in different ways. Like, obviously, Penny and the Boy was not meant to be anything in particular. It's just, a important story in her backstory. And Zach, as soon as he heard it, said, "Oh, that's gonna be the backstory for how Ophidian, how this happened." And it's just very good storytelling, very fun collaborative stuff. I'm catching up on chat right now. Wolf, your comment about a Darkwood character sheet. I was actually just thinking, like, it's a shame that I don't have like something like that for Dreadful, because that would suit her more than like the LUQ sheet. But it's interesting stuff. I'll have to noodle on it a little bit. Okay, yeah. So Wusha is dead. It did coincide with Max's paternity leave, but it wasn't necessarily it wasn't planned. That's for sure. But it was also, we kind of knew in the back of our heads, like Michael and I, that if we did like go hard and play it like really the way that we would play it competitively, which, focus down the tank first in this case, we knew that wasn't a problem, and so it really freed us to do that. But no, it wasn't planned. And honestly, it's so hard to kill someone in 5e that I honestly, the whole table was shocked when it happened. Like, even as I targeted him while he was down, I was thinking, he probably gets out of this once he's able to be healed again. And because that's the thing is, on that last turn, if he had lasted just a little bit longer, someone would have healed him and he would have come up with, in our rules, a few injuries, but he would have been fine. So it was very shocking. And yeah, and we'll see what happens with that. Let's see. That's fair, Zach. That's fair. Yeah, no, that's true. It is basically a TPK, because like Hal defected and left, and other than that, Iavos is the only survivor. There was something else I wanted to say. I can't remember. And the reason Dreadful's poems sound a little different than other Penny poems is because while I was coming up with her, I thought to myself, well, what's the next evolution of Penny if she's lived for like much, much longer? And so they're all songs. I did not sing all of them, but they all have tunes and they're all songs. And maybe someday I will sit down and record them. It's just very hard to do that like on the spot. Because you also don't want to have to go back and re-record things if it just, doesn't come out, which has happened with me in singing before in the Shanty episode. So I wasn't feeling super confident about that. But someday, because they do have tunes. Not all raps, unfortunately. As fun as that would have been. An illustrated book of her poems would be very fun. Unfortunately, it's like, I don't know. Most of them are not that good. Like I have her kind of backstory poems, which would look very nice with a little illustration. Then a lot of them are just like short little quips from different combats. I do have all of them saved. I'm not sure it'd make a really great compilation because most of them are those little shorties, but okay, yeah. No, if y'all ever want the poems, in terms of just pure text, I could probably drop those in bonus content. If anybody wants those, if we ever do something like bigger with them, probably put it on the Patreon. But yeah. Oh, I gotta finish it, but I actually had a Penny's Papa mini that I'll have to share some pictures of, because I finally got a base for it. It was standing on its own, but it didn't have a base when we played, and I'm looking forward to just sticking it on the base and putting some new coats on it and just kind of finishing it and having it be on the shelf. And yeah, Hal is still around. He's just doing other stuff now. I don't know what Hal did. I'll be honest. I'm not sure what that was. That is stuff I don't know. Yeah, so you'll find out what happens. Yeah, you'll learn everything in time. I don't want to spoil anything. But oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. One of the wild things about this episode, you might look at it and feel like a lot of it seems planned, but honestly, what's so interesting about this episode, obviously it wasn't, but it could have pivoted in a lot of different directions, and we were ready to pivot the entire remainder of the campaign based on what happened in this episode. This was a pivotal one. At the end there, if Gaspar had decided to just kill PD, take her shit, become a plural, he could have. If the Crown decided, to fuck this and join the Darkwood, that would have been the rest of the campaign. And it's just like, there are so many ways it could have gone, and it did not have to go this way. And I just it's so exciting to stress that, because when Gaspar pulled that dagger, I was genuinely afraid, because it was very possible in this episode for Penny the plural to suffer a permadeath. And as soon as he pulled it out, I was like, oh, I might be out for this campaign. And then he's tricksy in that Angelo way, and of course he never does what you think he's gonna do. But that's what was really exciting about this episode as well. Have I tried doing Penny in various accents? I haven't. Her accent is part of what makes it the Penny voice, so I'm not sure how it would translate into other accents. That when you say Canadian accent, it makes me think just the regular Penny voice, but throw some A's in there. Yeah, in any other accent, she just sounds like Dana. But, but yeah, Yeah, no, Angelo, in the grand scope of who influenced, like, the ultimate direction of this episode and, like, the flow of the rest of the campaign the most, like, it was Angelo. Like, he made a decision at the end of this one, and yeah. Yeah, I can't comment any additional info on how characters, might proceed. But I will tell you, the next chapter is amazing, and you're all gonna love it. I really adore the next chapter, and yeah, I think I think it'll be really great. Like, everything that we've produced for a while now, I've felt really good about. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking when I re-listened to it, is understanding now what Gaspar did. Listening back to it, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I get that from what was said. And part of that is I don't think we really got it at the time until Angelo, like, kind of told us, like, oh no, this is what I meant. But it does get clarified, and y'all will like it. The only thing on my part I think I would have liked to be clearer about is because I'm not sure it ever gets said, and I'm not sure it needs to get said because it's not really worth the screen time. But Penny's biological, in the plural sense, father is Arsenikos, but Papa is the father figure that raised her, like maybe a stepdad. That when I wrote her backstory, I thought was her father, and then the Arsenikos thing was a twist from Zach. But they're different characters. So when she says "meet my father," I don't want anyone to think that that's Arsenikos, because it's not. Not that I think anyone will, but that's what's going on with that. If it's confusing to anyone. But yeah, that said, I kind of gotta brush my teeth, throw on some makeup, and get the fuck out of here. So, if everyone is feeling good, I want to give everyone, the kind of time and space and aftercare they need after an episode like that. But I'm probably gonna head out. Yeah, that is fair, Wolf. Yeah, absolutely. No, there was no way I was not going to stream this episode. And honestly, if I had to just, like, leave the other thing short and do the normal stream like a half hour late, like I would have. There's no way I wasn't streaming it. Just unfortunately, it's a busy week. And I'm so glad that you all came at kind of this weird time. So thank you all so much for coming, because I just really wanted to see those great reactions. And yeah, let's blow up the spoilers channel. Make people wonder what they're missing. Okay. Love you all. I will talk to you soon. And I'll be in the chat if you want to chat anymore. But have a fantastic week. And until next time, we wish you luck.